I took Mandarin in middle school as an excuse to watch this show, and I cried a lot over how adorable it is, and I was very embarrassed that I was getting emotional over a show for babies. If only 12-year-old Athena can see me now, doing the exact same shit. But lovers, welcome back to the Lore series where we overthink shows no one else is brave enough to. I watch every single episode for a goofy, silly time. Any letters from concerned parents will be flushed down the toilet because I always give this disclaimer. From the moment the video starts, I smack an arse, for God's sake. Consider yourself warned.
You've been warned.
Ni Hao Kai-Lan aired new episodes on Nick Jr. from 2008 to 2011. 3 seasons comprised of 42 episodes. Season 3 only had 2 episodes because the show was cancelled abruptly. I've talked about this show before when I was making a tier list of tantrums. By the way, this playhouse's architecture goals. Heart windows? Stunning. Obsessed. I want them.
Give me it.
And from the little I talked about it in that video alone, you already know it goes from sickly sweet to free birth control in a matter of seconds. Totally stomped all over their whole sandcastle because the tower he kept having to build was knocked down by the waves 3 times. 3 strikes, everybody's out. And listen, I don't encourage this self-destruction, but he caught some serious air on these jumps. The ocean? At the beach? God must really hate me! Ah!
Our sandcastle!
We'll discuss everything from all the godlike creatures in this world to the very worst lessons. But before that, we have to break down the first episode. Thank you so much to Logan for sending the makeup inspiration for this video over on my Discord. If you want to leave a makeup suggestion, you can send it there or tag me over on my Instagram at AthenaPLore. No sponsor, so this video is yet again brought to you by my Great Wolf Lodge video. I get so many questions asking what the heck this thing is in the back. This is my animatronic from Great Wolf Lodge. This interest is still consuming me. In the very first episode, the Dragon Boat Festival, Kai-Lan introduces herself directly to us, like how all the episodes start. The second character we meet is Mr. Sun. The way she interacts with Mr. Sun is very Teletubbies adjacent, but instead of the sun being a baby laughing, Kai-Lan tries to make the sun laugh by tickling him, as she so often does. It honestly doesn't work, he doesn't laugh. He just looks amused at her, knowing she was trying to wake him up. Mr. Sun never speaks, but he emotes in a lot of loving ways. The wiki even lists him as a main character. Do I even have to say it? His design is adorable. Look at these rosy cheeks. The field of flowers is so cozy and beautiful. You guys think I glaze every art style, but I just love art. You can be picky and hyper-specific, and I'll just be happy. This is what the inside of my brain looks like, and you can't stand it. You can't stand it! Kai-Lan tells us about the Dragon Boat Festival and then gasps because she thought of a really good question. She asks us if we've ever seen a real dragon before, followed by that long pause for kids at home to answer.
Have you ever met a real dragon?
Well, that's actually a really complicated question because I think I did. It was really far in the sky and it was flying around, and I think that, like, maybe it was, but
I love dragons!
I wasn't finished. I also love that the character's reaction oftentimes has nothing to do with your response to their question. Just like this example, Kai-Lan has no idea what we said, so she just spaced out and told us how much she loves dragons. Yes, girl, ignore us. Stay on topic. What's your name? None of your business. Wow, that's a beautiful name. The format of this show is so adorable to me. Kai-Lan is so excited to talk to the viewer, like she's having a play date with the kid watching. We meet her yeye, her grandpa on her father's side, and he is her primary caregiver. So just like with the show SOOOO, where the grandfather takes care of the kids, the internet is quick to make up angst about what happened to her parents. Boo! Feng xie, feng xie, feng xie. That means tomato in Chinese, and I'm throwing tomatoes at you because leave my girl Kai-Lan alone. I love different family dynamics in media. Next, we meet Rintu. And when Kai-Lan tells us he's a tiger, she covers her mouth with her hand like she's telling us a secret or something that would offend Rintu. But out of all the animal friends, Rintu is the most loud and proud. Even their greeting is tiger-themed. The tiger roar is even heard in the theme song. You already know. Kai-Lan was a little bit bossy when she told me to get off my lazy ass and dance. I didn't move a muscle, but I was almost tempted to because she was persistent.
You can do it too! Stand up and do the dragon dance with me! First, stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up and do the dragon dance with me!
The next friend is the menace known as Ho-Ho. I've already featured him in the Crash Outs video because this little dude is full of rage. Toli is a koala who loves pandas, decked out in panda merch head to toe. Bro wants to be a real bear. And then we meet the iconic Lulu the pink rhino, who flies through the air with a balloon. She is so iconic, and she is not utilized enough. See, look at the wiki. She's listed as a supporting character. She should have been one of the 3 main friends. Get that Ho-Ho out of there!
Get him out of here!
We also meet Howard, and it's really appropriate he's an owl because who? I don't remember this dude at all. Did they kill him off after this? I will say I found this little guy's design cute until he spoke.
Ni Hao Kai-Lan.
What the hell is even that?
Why is his mouth below his beak like his beak is just some sort of orange snowman nose? Gross! This episode's tantrum is brought to us by Rintu the tiger. In his competitiveness, he accidentally sabotaged his team by rowing off beat. Kai-Lan observes that this guy is mad as hell with the biggest smile on her face.
Look at Rintu's face. Do you think he's having a good time? I don't think so either.
Yeah, he's pissed! Good observing. Now let's wait till this bubbles to the surface in an extra concerning way. He smacked the paddle against the water in frustration, and they still just let the kid rage. They don't do anything until he kicks their dragon boat onto this roof. Scary. Don't mess with that tiger, dude. With that strength, the paddle slap alone could have killed someone. And then, even after that violent display, he's stomping around. Kai-Lan is absolutely puzzled by her friend's cringe outburst. She always is. She replays the situation in her head and comes to the conclusion that he is in fact mad. I thought we already knew that from when you guys lost the race. They learn how to calm Rintu down from Ho-Ho of all people. Just dance that anger away. The emotional regulation lesson is perfect for this demographic, and even some fully grown adults need to hear this.
Breathe, fucking breathe!
But I was genuinely a little irritated that Rintu won the last race. It would have been better to see him calm down after double failure, because it happens. Trust me. I know. They meet Mr. Dragon at the end, and he makes a lot of dragon noises, but fully understands the kids, even kissing Kai-Lan on the head. Between Mr. Sun and Mr. Dragon, all these godlike creatures we've seen so far are so paternal. No, I'm not tearing up. Shut up. Mr. Dragon dives into the water and farts up a lotus, and Kai-Lan gives the lotus to her yeah. During her outro, she always says, "You make my heart feel super happy." Genuinely, the cutest shit I have ever heard. Middle school me crying from how wholesome this show is, you're valid, we're valid, okay? From what I remember from this show, and this first episode I watched, I really thought a character would throw a fit every episode. But the second episode, Twirly Whirly Flyers, proved they go over a lot more interpersonal conflicts than just blind rage. In this episode, Toli the koala accidentally broke the ant's bridge. And he was so overwhelmed, stressed, and ashamed, he ran away. But Kai-Lan taught him that he should fix his mistakes and make it all better. Fun fact, I watched this episode like this. Why isn't life like this? I feel like I'm being scammed. We should all hold hands, say sorry when we fuck up, and sing. Why is this not everyone's objective? In Season 1, Episode 4, we even learn about accommodating others. They made a tire swing that's too big for the ants, and as always, Kai-Lan sings the lesson. This one is, "In everything you do, think what your friends need to." I promise this whole video won't be me crying, but if you don't find this adorable and heartwarming, I worry for you.
He's making fists with his hands. And his face is all scrunched up. Ah! I can't get anything I want today!
Some of the the lessons I'm a bit iffy on, but I'm not really a childhood development expert. So if I'm wrong, by all means, please let me know. Okay, so in the season 1 episode, Wait Ho Ho Wait, Rintu the tiger is building this toy car he waited forever for. It just came in the mail, so they have to assemble it. Ho-Ho jumps in the car that's not even his way before it's ready and wrecks it. Rintu easily forgives his friend, but Ho-Ho is still stomping around because he has to wait. Yeye's suggestion is to do something you love while waiting, so what Yeye likes to do is sing, but Ho-Ho wants to play hide and seek until the car is assembled. This kid is like 3 or 4, so I understand that redirection is a big way to prevent uncontrollable baby anger, but I'm still a little annoyed. I am once again beefing with a cartoon toddler, because why doesn't he help them rebuild the thing he broke? At what age do we teach kids that it isn't always fun waiting? It isn't always fun correcting mistakes. The world once again distracts and enchants me, because look at how his DJ set parachutes down from the trees. It's so endearing even when the kids are acting up. In the episode Happy Chinese New Year, Rintu quit the dragon team because he didn't want to lift up the middle part. He didn't like his job. But then the solution was, but it's important and the team can't hold the dragon without you. And that alone convinced him. So did he not want to do it because of the job he was given? Or did he feel underappreciated? Or did he feel like his job didn't make a difference? A lot of the time, Rintu's issues have to do with ego, which is a more difficult thing to overcome. When I was cast in the ensemble in middle school musicals, when people told me it was just as important as the leads, that didn't make me feel any better at all. First of all, I felt like I was being lied to. And second of all, and most importantly, I just didn't want to be ensemble. Being part of a team gives a lot of people a sense of pride, but for others, it doesn't matter as much. I want to see an episode where their first solution doesn't work. In an ideal world, teamwork should just be enough. I know they're trying to instill these morals in children, that they should want to help, even if it's not the role they wanted or whatever. I'm just saying, if I saw this as a kid, I don't think I would have been sold on the lesson. I feel like maybe they could have said, oh, okay, you'll be the head next year. You know? I know they randomly chose the roles, but it seemed like no one else cared where they were placed. Ho-Ho got to break his friend's toy and then play whatever game he wanted to play. Another time I kinda related to Rintu was in the episode Everybody's Hat Parade. They threw a whole parade to show off different hats, and Ho-Ho copied the hat Rintu made. Rintu was pissed. I completely understand why. That being said, I once again know what they're going for. Younger siblings look up to and copy their older siblings out of admiration. They even have a disclaimer in the lesson of sometimes that means they really like it too. So they're not saying all plagiarism is good, but sometimes. What? The Baker and the Apprentice was a good example because the Apprentice is learning from the Baker, but guys, it's a hat parade. There's only 5 kids in this hat parade and 2 of them are wearing the same hat. I want a refund. But let's be real, who's even gonna look at Rintu and Ho-Ho? When Lulu created a tiara and a cloud made of balloons, she's a legend. Supporting character by choice. Because she's simply too cool to put up with these boys screaming all the time. In episode 10 Safari Pals, we see another egocentric Rintu moment. He doesn't shout or get violent this time. He just completely deflated and sulked because his friends were playing with Stompy the elephant, and Stompy is bigger and stronger than him. The kid who voices Rintu gave an Emmy-winning performance here.
Come on, Rintu, ride with us! No thanks. I'm going home.
An ongoing head-scratcher in this show is every time Kailan thinks back to try and find out the reason her friends are being little babies. Oftentimes, the thought bubble will include a scene she wasn't around to see. Maybe she's seeing our thought bubble? Because we just saw that shit no more than 2 seconds ago. But you saw she was off screen, so yeah, okay, maybe it's our thought bubble. She's gotta be fed up sometimes, right? Why is my friend acting like a whiny shit? Okay, what did you say? What do you know? He said multiple times he's tired of being called a whiny shit. Oh, of course! I'm glad I thought of that. I'm so empathetic. Now let's go help that whiny shit. Kid shows with repetitive formulas always get stuck in my head after watching. I was singing the Kailan lesson songs to myself to get me through anything I was stressed out about. When you're stuck in traffic and an asshole cuts off you, pretend all the cars in front of you disintegrate into dust. Then step on the gas and floor it. I hate to say it, but these three boys season 1 are kinda jerks.
Big back.
Totally, you can't say that. I thought it was exclusive to Ho-Ho, but Kailan constantly has to figure out why they're upset. And in the one episode where they try to understand how Kailan is feeling, they ask us, hey, why is she so happy for?
And she's laughing. Why is she so happy? We gotta try to find the reason why Kailan is so happy.
She's happy because she's not managing your emotions for once. Hold me back! Glad you guys got yourself out of the rut this time, but still. Season 2 made Kailan's friends put more work in, which I appreciated. Kailan fixed every problem season 1. But now we have Rintu teaching the elephant Stompy how to be a better friend to Kailan. Another act of selflessness was Rintu giving up the lead so Ho-Ho could play the Monkey King in their play. They still drop the ball sometimes. One of the best tantrums of season 2 was from the episode Kailan's Playhouse, which I covered in my tier list video, so you know I have to show you the clips from that again.
Flashback.
He is instantaneously fired up because there's no yellow paint, and he wanted to paint his very obvious fixation of a banana. It's bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. So instead he paints this rotten one, like his attitude right now. Yeah. Then the banana picture he tries to paste on the wall falls in black paint. I don't know why, but when this happened, I gasped. I'm not even joking.
My banana picture's ruined!
I understand the anger, but why is that Rintu the tiger's fault? Well, he grabbed the banana stickers, which was a big no-no for Ho-Ho. Before he strikes, Kailan pulls us aside so we can observe this kid's cringe behavior together.
Look at Ho-Ho!
I know.
He's making fists with his hands.
Scary.
And his face is all scrunched up.
Ugly. Before the violence, Ho-Ho shouts, I can't get anything I want today! Which is awesome. Ho-Ho hits Rintu. The tiny impact was heard all over the room, and everyone rushed to Rintu's aid. Yeah even scoops him up, asking if he's hurt. Rintu said, nah, dude, I didn't even feel it. Something we could already tell by his super delayed reaction. His decorating is really fun, and I'm having a really good time. I think that everything's gonna... Wait a second. Ow? The vibe is now completely ruined. The rest of the kids watch Ho-Ho get put in timeout. He did the crime, now he's doing the time. Toli, the koala bear, gets pissed off that Lulu took the panda plate he wanted. And even though he low-key raised his voice, which seems like an overreaction, he is a child, so they praise him for using his words instead of his fists. And they do this all within earshot of Ho-Ho. Did you see that, Ho-Ho? Did you see how he ended up getting the zoo pals he wanted because of his communication? You see how he didn't get punished because when he got angry, he dealt with it like a big boy? Are you gonna be a big boy or are you gonna keep being a little bitch? Yeah, what past me said. In season 2's playtime at Toli's, Rintu kept accidentally making a mess of Toli's things. Toli forgave him twice, but the third time, when Rintu was dancing rowdily and accidentally ripped his painting, even after Rintu fixed his mistake, Toli did not want to accept his apology. Instead of asking Toli why he didn't forgive Rintu, this time the solution song was about how forgiving someone who's really sorry can make them feel better. They almost never get to the actual root of the issue. Maybe Toli just needed Rintu to be more careful. Yeah, you're sorry, but how are you going to make sure this mistake doesn't happen again? That Stop Crying, It's As Easy As Choosing to Be Happy song that I made for the Wow Wow Wubsy video really applies in this show as well sometimes. Sometimes kids and adults are too busy being mad to think about if they're being a good friend or how the other person is feeling. I get it, we're building the tools for empathy, but what about the tools for communication? Being a good friend should be a good enough motivation, but when emotions are heightened and the problems aren't being solved. It just isn't. I think this show, always making someone in the right and someone in the wrong, simplifies the problem so they're easier to understand, but it isn't always honest. We need babies first, everyone sucks here / no one is the asshole verdict. Hot take incoming. The worst lesson of the series by far was in the episode Hula Duck Dance Party. Tolly was crying because he lost musical chairs. How did they make him feel better? Did they tell the kid he can dance even when he's out of the chair part of the game? No! Instead they changed the whole ass game so there's no more competition. Now the goal is to find a chair to sit in, but there's never a chair removed. Everyone wins all the time. I hate to sound like a decrepit old bat, but this truly is participation trophy type shit. He couldn't lock in enough to find a chair because he was so lost in dance. Honestly, it just seems like he didn't want to sit in a corner and wait. You can lose and still occupy yourself. You can still feel included even if you lose. He didn't talk to anyone else who lost. He was just sulking in the corner. Go dance with the other losers. That's what I did. This is a bad lesson. Some kid is going to go to their friend's birthday party and demand that the games are changed for them because they're bad at all the games.
Holy shit!
I really needed some of those songs to help me calm down because I was enraged when I finished this series and there was no instance of Lulu or Kailan getting angry and throwing a fit. We need equality. Every boy has yelled. Let the girls have a big blow up and then fix their mistakes. The closest we had to a Kailan crash out was when she cried that her Yeye's party was destroyed, and that was just really tough to watch.
Yaya's card is messed up. And Yaya's pineapple cake is messed up. Yaya's thank you party is all messed up. Wow, whoa.
I know I keep saying this, but this show makes me so emotional. I love the episode, The Place Where We All Live, talking about taking care of the planet, although this visual is goofy as hell. The cars pollute, but guys, move.
Mr. Magic?
In Season 1, Episode 2, they refer to these flowers that spin in the wind as twirly-whirly flowers, and the kids play a game with them. By the end of the episode, these flying flowers land on this tree, and then the tree begins to grow a bunch of these flowers. When they see this, they even exclaim,
It's a magical tree!
So even though magic is common in this world, they still label it as such. This isn't regular tree nature where they're from, this is a magic tree. I got the magic in tree. In the episode Tolly's Rhyme Time, we see the sun playing a trumpet that is sun-sized. Where does it go when he stops playing? We'll discuss the sun more later. Look at these ladybugs playing the peepaw, which is a type of lute. If the creatures have a non-speaking role, a lot of the time they're kind of just there to mimic the character's emotions, which makes so many scenes really unintentionally funny.
There's a fly, flying in the, clouds. Wait, fly, clouds? That doesn't rhyme.
Absolutely no flow, no bars, you should give up, I am a fly. Later on, a frog tries to help him rhyme, and he also cringes at the poor kid.
I see a log, I see a log, and, there's a leaf? Log, leaf? No.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Ribbit! I love that the world rallies to try and help these kids. The tiny animals continue to create rhymes for Tolly to see. Tolly to see. Dude, I just rhymed. I didn't even need any help. And eventually, by the end of the episode, this kid rhymed on his own too.
I want to try a rhyme on my own. Here is my head, here's my toe. I'm ready to rhyme in the music show. You rhyme! Yeah.
I love to say he's come a long way. Me and Tolly just cannot be stopped.
Rhyming's a godlike force that chooses people for stardom.
At the end of the episode, after the kids' performance, jasmine flowers rained down, which is just another way the nature of this world celebrates all of the kids' accomplishments. In Season 1, Episode 5, Wait Ho Ho Wait, the ladybugs lift the kids' toys off the ground, and when dandelion flowers floated in the air, Kai-Lan caught one to give to Ye-Ye. If you want to make someone happy, and you're pure of heart, this world will reward you. That's why Ye-Ye has bubble-blowing powers that put even SpongeBob to shame.
It's a giraffe!
At the end of the Season 2 episode Toli's Turn, the sea creatures want to entertain our main characters, so they swim in a circle so fast they create this sort of geyser water tornado thing to lift them into the air. It kind of reminded me of the Pokemon episode with Gyarados' Dragon Rage, but for good instead of violence. And then the sea creatures randomly form the shape of a dolphin, a way less impressive trick. We've seen dolphins throughout the episode. What was the point of that? The Season 1 finale is the first two-part special. Kai-Lan visits her great-aunt, Ye-Ye's sister, Gu-Nai-Nai. Kai-Lan has never been to China before this, and Ye-Ye shows the children the long journey ahead of them. Based on this map, they all live in California. I totally thought they'd be based in Australia, given the koala and just the sheer amount of nature. The moment their plane lands in China, we see other humans for the first time. There are no humans in the usual United States setting. What do you make of that? I feel like I've run the human extinction theory into the ground for 90% of these videos. In this episode, we see that the pandas have a huge community in China, much like the ants and snails of California. As soon as the kids meet these pandas, they are invited to the name ceremony for the new panda baby. But it never occurred to me until right now that other than Ye-Ye, we've seen no other family in our usual setting. Maybe the hula ducks are brothers, maybe the Peking mice are siblings, but I don't think it was ever explicitly said. When our main characters left, Ho-Ho, To-Lee, and Rintu didn't ask any legal guardian if they can go on this trip. Is this show saying America is too free? Free to the point of neglect? In this essay, I will. It also feels like even the son took a huge step back once they landed in China. Sure, he's still watching over them, but he knows there are a lot more adults to take care of these children. Even nature guiding them is taking a step back. Usually the ladybugs would help them fly and give them kisses, and the ants would teach them. I guess they stepped up because there was no one else left to in the United States. And I, for one, welcome a ladybug leader at this point. All this to say, when Kai-Lan and her friends went to China, there were more humans and the population was less of a chaotic mishmash. Why is there a polar bear in California? We'll never know. This special is also the first appearance of the heart box, which I still think is the cutest shit ever. Kai-Lan puts things in her heart box that she loves, that makes her heart feel super happy. More of us need to make heart boxes. What's going in your heart box? Kai-Lan even gives her heart box to the baby panda at the end of the episode. She's so selfless. I know she's supposed to be a role model for kids, but no one is that perfect. This show already leaned into found family so much, but it's both heartwarming and heartbreaking to see how much it means to Kai-Lan to even hear the word family.
So calling you Gerger is his way of calling you his big brother.
This shows that we're all part of one big family. 我们都是一家人.
One big family. I like that. You're a part of our family too.
This episode is good, but it makes me sad. We never see Gu-Nai-Nai again. She's the one that gave Kai-Lan her necklace, and their necklaces fit together. She needs to see Gu-Nai-Nai more. Kai-Lan gives so much assurance to everyone, and it's clear she needs more herself, even when she isn't helping. So much of her self-worth comes from helping. Have her go apeshit at least once. I need her to be selfish at least once. She's earned it, okay?
NPCs, what are you on about?
Mr. Fluffy the Mouse and Mei the Polar Bear, aka the baker and assistant from the plagiarism episode, show up again in episode 8, The Snowiest Ride. Their appearance is once again to show a solution to our main character's problem. Their presence in these episodes are only so the kids don't always lean on Ye-Ye. idea. The first lesson this mouse and polar bear teach is that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And the lesson in this episode is, if you're scared of something but still want to do it, take it little by little. That's a good lesson. It started cutely with the polar bear being pushed on the swing by the mouse. Yes, the mouse is that strong. It's Sheriff Callie / Octonauts logic. The gentle and patient approach helped her, and the main group reunites with these side characters, having a conveniently parallel experience in the oddest way. This is not just a swing. This is a swing on a sled. Extreme swinging. I'd be so scared of that shit. Would physics even allow this? Would this not just propel you into the air? I'm not asking in their universe. Hello, the sun talks. It's clearly different. I'm saying in our world, this can't be replicated even if someone's crazy enough to try, right? These are the thoughts that keep me up at night. Look at this teeny tiny anchor the mouse throws to stop this polar bear swing. In the episode Rain or Shine, the hula ducks splash in puddles so that Kailan can discover the joy of splashing around in puddles.
Wow.
They don't have individual names. They are a collective, much like these snails with arms. I was wondering why these snails were designed with arms, and well, it's to pull around one of our main characters, of course. Totally cannot wait. So he interrupts this snail who was rain sledding first, and as a result, that snail just fucks off and we never see him again. In the episode Sports Day, the main four friends participate in a bunch of dinosaur-themed competitions. There is no reason for the other kids not to be included in this, but look at this giant crowd. They're just happy to cheer and react. Listen to their gasp at the main conflict of the episode.
I quit! Totally!
They are a live studio audience. Even the ants who show Rintu how to be a good sport with their one competition they were allowed to participate in are tossed aside. The main characters had 4 different events. When all the athletes were given medals at the end, each person gets a medal personalized for them, except for the ants, who all get best scooter racers. That was their only event. At least Dora is themed like a computer game, so these characters that are only there to present something make sense within the world. Why do these guys just stand around? Even the elephant Rintu was intimidated by doesn't compete. He just sits in the stands with confetti in his nose. Roller Rintu is an episode that deals with these background characters in a way that's more than just set dressing for once. I loved seeing Fluffy and Mei with Lulu. Like I said earlier, Lulu probably chooses to not be included in Kailan's friend group as much because of these emotionally unstable boys. Mr. Fluffy the Mouse Baker is a toxic masculinity rejecting king. I have even more good news. In the episode Lulu Day, Howard the Owl is back. Who? And this time his mouth is actually a mouth. His beak is a normal beak, and he's a mailman. How cute! I was so happy until season 2's Stompy Rides Again, where they reverted Howard back to being ugly and nonsensical and creepy and weird and stupid. The peeking mice are summoned every time they need music. The fireflies are summoned every time they need light in the dark. I will say by season 2, they started to make the background characters have their own episodes. We even learned the ants' names. This bossy one is named Boo Boo, and he's gonna get a boo boo if he keeps telling us what to do. In the episode The Ants Dance, we get the opposite of what we're used to. Kailan's main friend group acts as an example for the ants to learn from. I think it's less about giving the spotlight to other characters, and more so to show our main characters growing. If the background characters are always right, and Toli, Ho-Ho, and Rintu are always in the wrong, that means they're the problem. So season 2 really fixes that issue. Makes them all way more likable. It's more balanced. Everyone is flawed here, except for Lulu, Kailan, Yeah, and the many gods of this world.
What?
If you're not one of the main characters here, you're either an NPC or a god. No in between. Starting with the OG Mr. Sun. The sun being alive makes even the usual things the sun does seem magical. The sun's rays reflect, refract, and disperse light through moisture in the air, creating a rainbow. But seeing how it's made in the season 1 episode Rain or Shine makes this naturally occurring phenomenon seem like even more of a gift than it already is. It is made because the sun loves us. Look at all the effort and amp up it takes for him to leap across the sky, painting this picture for Kailan and her friends to admire. The personification of celestial bodies is very common in many types of mythology and religion, and I can see why. A god you can see and feel, but not look directly at, is perfect. It's just enough proof, but you can't stare long enough to refute. The sun, as we know it in real life, is already so powerful. Modern philosopher Bill Wirtz describes it as a deadly laser. So imagine how much more fear we'd feel if the sun randomly shed tiny versions of itself. This happens in the show frequently. They're called sun fuzzies, and if you can believe it, this preschool show doesn't depict this as hell on earth. The sun fuzzies aren't made from plasma. It doesn't scorch the earth. Mr. Sun makes these fuzzies because they tickle. Much like the rainbow, it is a show of love. And all of the characters love it right back. In the episode Kailan Goes to China, we also have the sun fuzzies guiding her to Ye, who has the news for her that they're going on a trip, and the map is shown by none other than sun fuzzies. They didn't unravel a map, they created a map. They conjured that shit, they created it. I didn't know that they could just manifest images. I mean, I guess it makes sense, they're light. The sun fuzzies essentially just made a TV. But that's wild, dude. That's so much more powerful than just tickling the main characters. And it's never seen again. We first see the moon in the episode Kailan's Camp Out, and underwhelming is an understatement. He is just like Mr. Sun, and never goes through any other phases other than full. But it's clear the kids don't know this celestial being as well. The is so impersonal. I wish she was Miss Moon or Madam Moon. Come on! Unlike the sun, the moon rarely gets to have fun with the main characters. Except with moon fuzzies just blatantly copying the sun. Get your own thing. No one likes a copycat.
And your friend copies you. Sometimes it means that they really like it too. And that makes it even more special.
Oh yeah, never mind. I don't know, I just feel like more could have been done here. Like something with the tides. In the episode Ni Hao Halloween, the moon got to dress up. We got to see moon twinkles, which are exactly like moon fuzzies, but with a different name. So that's something.
We can make our own moon, and it'll be even better than the real moon because we made it.
Well, fuck me, I guess. I knew you liked my brother better than me, but this is just... Jeez, guys. You know I could hear you. You knew I was here! Mr. Dragon is another powerful being. We don't just see him in the first episode, he reappears in 2 episodes in season 2. During the Lunar Festival, we see him breathe fire to help Mr. Fluffy make these mooncakes, and in the episode Lulu's Cloud, he flies the main friend group to Lulu's house. Mr. Dragon's design was way more 3-dimensional this episode, and as cool as he looks, and as powerful as he is, the rest of the episode overshadows him a lot. Lulu lives in a cloud in the sky. She can summon balloons. Lulu is one of the coolest characters of all time. She is simply built different. And yes, I am including her in this god section because A, she flew around worms in the season 2 episode Toli's Promise, much like how Mr. Dragon flew people around, and he's included here. And B, the only other character we see live up in the clouds is the Monkey King, bro. Before his first appearance, the Monkey King is mentioned throughout the series. The first time is in the Halloween episode where Ho-Ho dresses up as the Monkey King, and then when they were putting on the play about him, but the first time we meet him is in the season 2 2-part finale, Princess Kailan. At first, the Monkey King takes on the appearance of a flying squirrel before revealing his true identity. He shapeshifts and uses his staff to change the outfits of our main characters. These new outfits gave Kailan and friends jumping powers. In the show, they call the Monkey King a superhero, but the Monkey King is based off of a Chinese religious figure who is the main character in the novel Journey to the West. The facial markings in the cartoon resemble the makeup opera singers put on to play the Monkey King. While the powers they gave the Monkey King in Ni Hao Kai-Lan are heavily based on the original figure, the journey they go on is very different. The Monkey King tasks Kailan to help the foxes and bears become friends. It doesn't seem like the groups want to become friends, and they don't even have to cohabitate because a wall separates them. I'm ashamed to admit I was confused where this was going. Why is the Monkey King meddling with politics? You'll see. Our main characters and the Monkey King fly through this rainbow cloud to get to the magical kingdom. So even though the wall really resembles the Great Wall of China, this is not China. Or at least not the China they've been to on Earth. Maybe this is time travel? The episode takes a Shakespearean twist when a forbidden friendship forms between kids from two separate sides. Unlike Romeo and Juliet, where the beef exists for no reason, the foxes and bears piss each other off with dances that shake the ground and singing that's so loud that you can't even hear yourself think. So there are actual issues between these two groups, they just never communicated them. Great lesson, great harmony also.
Talk about what's making you mad, so your friends can help you.
The Monkey King, who was gone this whole episode by the way to fix his staff, came back at the very end to transform the wall into a bridge between the two kingdoms, and the episode concludes with Kai-Lan being declared the Princess of Friendship. Move over, Twilight Sparkle. Her friends become the Knights of Friendship. I feel like they each should have had a title, like the main six, but they're not there yet. They still need to grow. They have learning to do, I fear. The only other appearance of the Monkey King is in the two-part premiere/finale of season 3. It is both the start and end because it is the only episode of the last season. It's the only other appearance of Kai-Lan's playhouse as well. It's a damn shame. I feel like these new settings and new characters would have been utilized even more if they were given time, if they weren't cut off. The Monkey King disguises himself as a beetle to test Kai-Lan, to see if she'd help, and of course she does. She's perfect. Even though this episode aired after Princess Kai-Lan, this episode takes place before because they act like they're meeting the Monkey King for the first time, and in the previous episode, they acted like they were already friends with him. I double-checked the wiki, and I was right. This was produced prior to Princess Kai-Lan. I am so pissed that Lulu never met the Monkey King, even though they're probably neighbors. Back when we saw Lulu's house in the clouds, the friends summoned balloons to fly in the sky. But in this episode, they're pretending she doesn't exist, so now they summon clouds. The Monkey King is very relaxed, letting these strangers play around with his magical items. He doesn't even give them a tutorial or rules. He's like, knock yourself out. I'm leaving for most of the episode again, bye. Kai-Lan flies with the Monkey King's cape, Ho-Ho lights the lanterns with his staff, and Toli spins with the crown, making beautiful shapes out of streamers. Too specific of a power has little to no application. If they weren't decorating for a party right now, what would they use that for? They end up accidentally making a mess. Ho-Ho even brings these statues to life with the staff. It almost seems like the Monkey King wanted them to mess up so he can show off more of his powers. Very cheeky guy. He can blow winds strong enough to separate a bamboo forest, and in the end, he gave them all their own magic sticks. At the end of this episode, he even gifts Kai-Lan with his newest book. Dude has an ego. It's also so hilarious to me that they casually drop the most powerful character right at the end. I've never seen that approach. Okay, I think I get the gist of this show now. Wait! There's a new character! You gotta watch for the new character now. Let me guess, a new little sibling or pet? What? No, gross, ew, yucky. No, we need to introduce you to one of our many gods! You can't stop watching now! What was your favorite part of the trip? You should do Dora lore instead. I like that too. Can I confess something? I don't actually hate Ho-Ho. Not even a little bit. Look at this scene where he hugs us. I can't hate that. Can you? Yes. Thought not. But lovers, I sure hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you did. We're so close to 300,000, which does not feel real. I really appreciate you all so much. In the next video, we are exploring some Disney alternate universes. There are so many, I fear it's only the tip of the iceberg, but we'll have a lot of fun as usual. Have a great day. I do demand it. Bye!